lengthy discussion yesterday about running stick versus man. And I was trying to find a stick that does not have the tight end running the stick route because they run it terribly. But I also wanted to run the dragon on the left, but like this middle one here with Trey open halfback strong, I want the halfback weak, so he actually runs a flat route to show the same concept. But I don't seem to have that in this book. I have similar things like this air raid stick here, similar, but it's not the exact same. And then you have this one, but the R1 is coming out to run the flat route on this one. So I don't have the exact same play as he had. And this one, again, the tight end. I could probably try this against 3-3 just so we can avoid that. I won't man 3 deep. Trying to just avoid well, we're going to run against prevent. I'm not going to throw any deep passes, but I'm trying to avoid the defensive line from bumping the tight end. See, tight end gets bumped, and he's not a good tight end. I should probably run this with a better team, but that tight end route right there, the option of it, if you have a better player, this is against prevent, so that's a DB, so it's going to be tough to complete that against the DB. But we'll run this empty base here, and I don't know, let's go 4-2-5 2-man. So there should be a linebacker there. But running this on the right hand side, if I'm seeing that it's 2-man, I'm not looking at circle at all. He's out of there. R1, I don't like that route. One of the routes that was shown, not used to auto, so bear with me. Speed out. Nah, don't really like that. But it was basically an out route, right? That was shown there. So kind of like that was the original play art concept. I may be able to bring him. Nope, can't do it. Okay. All right, so get my camera back. All right, so in this case, man coverage. If you have a good tight end right there, that's open, I don't know, 7 to 8 times out of 10. Like that route, especially if it's not a better defender, and for sure, especially if you have somebody good, like 2-man will get cooked versus the stick concept. Like on repeat, this play right here is open if you have somebody that can run that route. And this tight end is really bad. He's really slow, not good route running, but 2-man versus stick, it's cooked. Right? I'm not looking at X, R1. I'm not looking at circle R1 at all. If I come off of the X receiver there, then I'm coming back inside looking for triangle. Right? That's, again, it's going to be man on man. Who wins on that? Triangle is probably going to be open. If you look at square is going to be cooked. It's inside leverage, trying to run a slant versus it. He's going to be cooked. So I'm reading this X, the triangle, if I see that it's 2-man. Obviously, you got to verify after the snap. So let's go up. Let's go stick here. And let's go, let's just go. Cover one's pretty much going to be the same thing. But we can run it. Same concept. Only difference with cover one is there's going to be a linebacker sitting there, more than likely, if he's not blitzing. But if it's any man coverage, the tight end's going to have a chance at winning that route. Again, better receivers, better tight end. You're going to get better separation, but you can secure catch those for 4 or 5 yards, potentially get a broken tackle, tight end versus a DB, and go for farther than that. So if I'm seeing this in this set, I'm assuming that linebacker there is not going to move. I'm not looking at triangle anymore. What I will do is come back to square, because I'm assuming that linebacker is staying there, either in a QB spy, or he's going to be in a, some sort of drop in the zone or something like that. But if he blitzes, then yeah, I'm looking at triangle. But if not, I'm checking that slot defender there. And if he bails, man covers versus the slot, square is going to be open all day. Just fill the space with that. So that's cover one. All right, so let's drop to 2. Let's find out. All right, so basic cover 2 over here on the left, just 425 over G. All right, so 2. If I see this, and again, verify everything post snap, but the cornerback's 5 yards, I'm going to pre-snap assume this is probably cover 2. In this case, R1 is out of there. I'm not throwing R1. Circle is probably out of there because the safety is on the outside of the hash, between the hash and the numbers. That whole shot is going to be tough to get, but I'll throw 1 just to kind of see if we can place it. X probably going to be boxed by that slot defender right there, unless the slot defender takes off. It depends on which cover 2, right? So if the cover 2 is inverted, that slot defender takes off straight to the flats. X is going to be wide open because the mic has to bail to the middle, right? So I'm going to read this one X to triangle to square again. Square is pretty much going to be boxed on this because that defender, the slot defender here, is probably just going to sit in that area. So you'll be throwing straight into there. So X to triangle again. Again, rarely going to throw this to, yeah, see, he's just going to sit there, get you 2 or 3. Rarely going to throw this to circle unless we have more room. But yeah, see, there's the broken tackle. So if you're just needing a couple yards, 2, 3 yards, it's right there. Coming backside to the triangle, the linebacker's bailing, fill the void. That middle linebacker's bailing. He's out of there, right? So if I see that it's 2, I'm most likely, unless the user is consistently using the linebacker, then I'm most likely just going to go right there. Coming back to square. If I try to throw that one, see, it's unless I throw it real quick, which I don't like just throwing. See, it's going too far inside. You can't, especially with this. I'll try to back shoulder. Yeah, see, got it, but you're throwing him into the fire. He's going to get his career ended. Hole shot. If I'm going to throw a hole shot, I threw it a little too early, but it worked. But threw that a little too early. He got bumped. You basically got to wait for him to clear that and then hole shot right there. For whatever reason, that safety took off straight to the pylon. Yeah, so if that safety is going to the pylon, then that hole shot is there on repeat. But if he's not, if he's sitting in any sort of way, oh my God. I don't know what happened there. I'm not throwing that hole shot. If he's sitting and just kind of shuffling out to the outside, I'm not throwing a hole shot. R1, again, I don't like throwing that one because if that DB comes up off of that right there, it's a wrap. See, he's breaking on it. I don't like throwing that versus 2. So let's go up 1. Stick versus cover 3. And we'll just go basic cover 3, not match. We're just going to go 3 sky. So a lot of times what I've seen is people tend to get stuck in a cover 3 or 3 maple. And a lot of times in a couple leagues, there's some players that stick in like heavy double maple. Like they just go straight maple sets where you're basically going to get a hard flat out here to the side, kind of like a sky. But when you do that, it just opens this area up right here all day, right? Because the linebacker's going back, and that sky is just taking off. Even on the maple, it's doing the same thing. Like it's taking off, and so a lot of people would adjust their hooks to be lower. But against 3 heavy cover 3 people, stick will kill them. It's gonna make them come out of that, very quickly. Because you can just literally do this. They're just backing up. So then the next thing that they're going to try to do is user that tight end. And when they user, underneath is right there. Same concept on the left side. That slot defender is going to be bailing out to the left because that's his responsibility. So you can just replace him Ooh, high pass right there. Right. So if they end up using the left side with that linebacker, they're probably going to take the underneath, and you can just hit him right there. So there's just holes and pockets in three, and it's usually right around the hashes that there's holes and pockets, and those holes and pockets, or hashes between hashes and numbers, kind of. Those holes and pockets are usually going to be try to be filled by a user, but against three as well, you can hit that outside. Circle is boxed. There's no throw in the circle in this scenario, unless you put circle on like a comeback or something. So if you really need it and you put circle on a comeback, yeah, he's boxed still. Yeah, because he backed up. So that's boxed. Now, if you're running this against a heavy match defender, all right, so we're running this, still gonna get the same thing. The only difference is against match, you will have that comeback against match. So in this case, because he has to cover that outside defender. Oh, you raggedy joker. All right, and then look underneath. He's there. What's up with the D-line? D-line killing. Come back, D-line. Yep. So just replace the defenders, basically. Similar concept to the video that ASO was posting. That guy does a really good job of talking about reading grass. So in this case, the grass where that linebacker is right now, he's above the D tackle. He bails. So is that grass open? Yes, as he would say. If that grass is open, throw it. Same thing underneath. That grass open? Yep. Throw it. Right? Let's switch it up. Let's go to the beloved 4. I'm just sticking in 4-2-5 here. Similar concept. Linebacker's going to drop. X is going to be there. You can do this all day. Grass is open. Hit it. R1 out here, you can see, I'm just going to roll so you can see. R1 is going to be boxed in that scenario. He's just going to get matched up by that outside defender. He's boxed, right? Throw that long slant. So sometimes if the user notices that you're running stick and they cover that inside, number 86 right here, they cover him and they cover that hitch, then what you'll see sometimes they'll cover it and then they'll jump on triangle and then X is back open again, right? A lot of defenders don't sit on one route because they assume, oh, he's not going to throw that, right? So if you go here and they don't see it, they're going to triangle, X jumps back open. If they don't take triangle and you don't throw it immediately, like let's say you just don't see it, whew, pass rush is getting there. If you have the time, then you can get it over the top right there, right? So sometimes it is difficult when you're playing a user and that user begins to jump that hitch. It becomes a little more difficult, if you're not ready to go to your next read. So sometimes you just, out of nowhere, you're reading, checking, looking, and then you just try to throw it out there. I tried to float that one, but it didn't work. So that's versus 4. Let's go 6, which is basically going to be the same thing. Back shoulder that one a triangle late, but same concept. I'm just going to keep running them. You get the idea there. And let's zoom out some. Again, 6, we have 4 on the left, 2 on the right. All right, so, or 4 on the right, 2 on the left. Yeah, so X is there. R1 is not. A bunch of traffic over there on the right side. We had 2 on the left. what did I say? Yeah, 2 on the left, 4 on the right. So yeah, Serval's taken because he's just kind of bumping, too much action going on over there. But there's nothing here in the middle. All that grass is wide open. Like if I threw it on time, like here, if I throw that, if you have a fast receiver, obviously, you hit your head on the goalpost because you got a blocker that's coming up there behind you. Even if I wait a second, hit square, square hits his head on the goalpost as well. So, but X is there again. It's going to be a contested catch, right? Because the linebacker's right there. Oh, that's kind of cool. It's kind of blurry up there because of the focus. But the linebacker's sitting there. So again, like if it's a gotta have 3 yards, right? I'm probably hitting him immediately. On turn, hit him and secure catch and just drop if I need 2-3 yards. Just take it. You know, no big deal there. All right, let's go 9. Same concept, right? So you can see, doesn't matter if it's a default audible in Madden for years. Stick is a really good concept, but it also matters what's on the other side of stick, right? So a lot of the stuff that I was showing, if I go to here and I don't know, whatever, let's go back to 2-man here. So if I go to this shock option with the stick on the left side, I don't have that inside slant anymore because he's going to the flats, right? So I'm not even going to read to the right, right? Let's just focus on what's going on here on the left. That left side is just boxed, right? He got free, but you see I almost got blasted right there. Playing against those good teams with good pass rushes, like waiting for him to come up off of that, and that time he didn't, right? It's very difficult, right? So on the right side, though, it's also going to be different now because we're not running a streak with circle. We're running a slot fade. And so I tend to read these differently when I'm running a slot fade version of stick. I'm actually going to read R1 first. And so I'm going to check that cornerback and basically the triangle up here. The safety down to the slot, over to the corner. Like, right, just take that obtuse triangle there. And I'm going to check and see what is that safety doing? What's the corner doing first? Is the corner dropping? If not, then he has man on circle. And I'm looking to see if R1 gets any extra release there. And so if he can actually get leverage, which he did, but there's a safety over the top, then I'll throw that. So anyway, I can go on and on. There's all these different variations, but stick is a really good play against 2-man all the way up. I don't think it's, unstoppable. It definitely is, especially if you're a user. But it's a really good concept to me. And when people love to sit in drop coverages, then you can hit them with stick and make them come up out of that drop coverage. And if they're sitting in man, if you got somebody good on the inside, like basically if you switch the set, what's that, empty base. So if we go to formation, empty base, and we switch it to where we get somebody better, like right there, we got wide receiver 3 there on our stick. Let's see here. Let's go back to stick. We'll go 2-man. So we got somebody good here. If that's a linebacker, depending on what set they're in, and I got a good receiver there, oh, he's done. 2-man is cooked versus stick in that concept, right? Like if you just have a good receiver, as I mentioned early, a good receiver right there, 2-man has no chance versus stick. Not that route. And because it's an option route, it works whether or not that's a zone or a man. It takes a user to defend that to actually stop stick. Unless, like I said, you throw it against the zones and it's a contested catch and you're able to just knock it out, right? But it's very tough to defend that there. So anyway, those are my thoughts, Mr. 55. Look forward to your video.